Hey, everybody, and welcome to the May 2016 edition of the Save the Bay podcast. My name is Matt Vieira. I am the social media and marketing manager at Save the Bay, and I'm here with...
I'm Adam Kovarsky. I'm Save the Bay's aquarium manager and education specialist.
Excellent, excellent. So let's jump right into it. Everybody knows already, what is this month's theme at the aquarium?
It's a good one. Local lighthouses. Now, at first, you might say, all right, lighthouses, I don't know that much about them. It's not something I've ever really looked into, but there's a lot of cool stuff about lighthouses.
Excellent. So what kind of stuff do we have going on at the aquarium in Newport, where we are right now, recording this podcast?
Yep, you got it.
What kind of stuff is going on?
Yeah, so, just like every month, we change up our theme at the aquarium, and we get into some Bay-related information. So this month with the local lighthouses, we're going to have scavenger hunts going on, as always, where you follow different lighthouse-related clues, you find different parts of puzzles around the aquarium, and you win prizes at the end as you gather information as well and learn along the way, which is really fun. People are going to be able to build their own mini lighthouses here, too, which will be really fun.
Excellent. That's really cool.
It's at our craft station, so for the younger ones, there's going to be great information posted about some of the local lighthouses, a little bit of history and stuff like that as well, and just general information about the lighthouses that go along with all the normal activities that we have going on here as well.
That is really awesome. Yeah. Now, Rhode Island is known, and we are known for having some historic lighthouses around Rhode Island. So that's really awesome to kind of learn about something that's happening right in your backyard. Something that's been here for a very long time. Oh, yeah. The building the lighthouse, is that this month's craft?
That's the craft for this month.
Excellent.
You got it. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Awesome. Really cool. Awesome. What other type of activities will be happening this month at the aquarium? Lighthouses included, but also other things.
Yeah, so like always, we're going to have our great touch tanks going. Mm-hmm. The cool thing about this month is, we're starting to get into spring. The bay is warming up, quicker and quicker every year, and we're starting to catch some pretty interesting specimens. We've already had a handful of new things come in this year, this season. One neat thing about our aquarium, since everything's local here, stuff moves in and out of our tank. So we've already released a handful of flounder, some hake, a few other fish that have just grown too big for our facility. They're back out in the bay swimming around, and we caught some juveniles of a lot of those same species that were growing out. So you can come here, see at this point, a lot of baby animals, juveniles. They're going to grow up for about a year here, and then we'll release them. Even a brand new little painted turtle that we just found washed up on the beach here. Those are some great examples. Also, since it's getting nicer out, we're going to be spending more time on the beach here at Easton's Beach. So we're going to go out, we're going to do beach walks, we're going to collect different items that wash ashore, we're going to teach about the biology right outside here, and that's just one more thing that happens as it gets nicer out.
Really cool, and that just goes to show there's more incentive to come down to the aquarium, more than just the monthly theme. There's constantly, the animals here, the critters are constantly changing. There's new ones coming, and there's other ones being released, and that is really awesome. Doing the beach walks will be a lot of fun. Oh, yeah. What day is this month's feeding frenzy? It is the third Thursday?
It's the third Thursday of every month, and forgive me, I didn't write it down.
Let's look it up right now.
Yeah, we'll look it up now.
Let's get it right now.
Yeah, the third Thursday every month we're doing our wonderful feeding frenzy. When is it this month?
That is the 19th of this month.
19th, and this is a unique new program. We had our first one last month, and it was sold out, which was great. We had a full attendance. People loved it. They had a great time, and the unique thing about this one is it's when we're closed, so it's behind-the-scenes kind of time here. Mm-hmm. So you get to see some of the functioning of an aquarium when we're not open to the public. So we go around to almost every exhibit here. We feed all of the life that's here. All the people who sign up for this program, they get to feed sharks, they get to feed skates, feed the octopus, feed the stargazer, the seahorses, all these animals that you normally don't get to see do these kinds of things. The other great thing about it is you get the special attention of one of our aquarists who will give you good information that you just normally might not get as a normal public visitor here because it's so busy.
Yeah, exactly. People that are really familiar with the animals that are here and what they're all about and where they come from.
Yeah, actual scientists that deal with these animals every day pretty much.
That is fantastic. And that is an event that you have to pre-register for?
Correct.
So savebay.org/aquarium is where you can register for that. If you have any questions, shoot us a question on Facebook or Twitter, and we'll be happy to answer that. Also, the end of this month is Memorial Day, and that is when the aquarium officially opens daily.
Yes.
So you want to talk more?
Sure, yeah. So starting May 27th, we are open every single day from 10 to 4, all the way through Labor Day, which this year is September 5th. And that's with, themes are going to be changing every month. We're going to be doing all different kinds of great stuff and all kinds of animals moving in and out. Up until the 27th, we still will be open, though, every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like usual.
That is, just so everybody knows that you don't know, that is 175 Memorial Boulevard in Newport, Rhode Island. We're located right on Easton's Beach. The aquarium is a great place to come down and check out. And this is also a place where you can renew your Save the Bay membership. You can come in and buy merchandise. We have all of that stuff down here as well. And speaking of Save the Bay programs, to go along with your local lighthouses, coming soon this year, I believe starting in June, we have our lighthouse tours, which depending on which tour you go on, you can see up to 20 lighthouses in Rhode Island. And this is one of the only tours in Rhode Island where you get to actually tour a historic lighthouse, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
There's 3 different tours. You have the Northern Lighthouse, you have Southern Lighthouse, and then you have the Ultimate Lighthouse Tour, which is kind of like
those are for the fanatics.
The real
you get
fanatics.
To see everything.
I mean, people come from all over the country for these.
I love it. It's fun.
Spots are filling up fast. SaveBay.org/lighthouse or SaveBay.org/lighthouses as well. You can register for those tours. I believe the first one, it's a Northern Bay tour, and it starts June 18th, I believe. That is the date. Yeah. But again, SaveBay.org/lighthouse is a good place to check that out. Yeah. So lots of exciting stuff happening for lighthouses. Is there anything else going on at the aquarium you want to let
There's actually
know about?
one other thing I'd love to chat about.
Right.
So a while ago, we got another wonderful tank donated to us just from a member of the public who didn't want it anymore, and it's actually a really nice tank. It's like 12 feet long. It's 350 gallons. This is going to be it's actually already in the aquarium, and we're going to be slowly constructing the filtration system for it. We're going to call this one the Bay of the Future.
Very cool.
It's going to end up housing only tropical strays, so the fish that get washed up into Narragansett Bay during the hotter parts of summer by the Gulf Stream current, and they usually can't make their way back down because they're usually too young to make it all the way back down to the warmer climates by the time winter comes. So we try and catch as many of these guys as we can every summer. We have a bunch that are here still, and what we're going to do is we're going to put them in this exhibit, construct it in a nice, beautiful way, and use it as a platform to talk about, like, hey, maybe in a few hundred years, maybe the bay is going to look a little bit more like this. Maybe it's going to have all of these warm water fish that are slowly, we have found, migrating their way more northerly every year, when you look at climate change and warming bay temperatures. So hopefully this will be a good way to teach about it and also see some things that are unique.
We were just talking, hopefully sometime in the near future we'll be podcasting from in front of the Bay of the Future tank.
We're going to have to show that one off,
we'll
too.
We'll have to. We'll actually have to
yeah.
start moving around the aquarium and maybe do it in some different spots.
Oh, yeah.
That would be really cool. Again, Feeding Frenzy is the 19th of May. Register at SaveBay.org/aquarium for that. This month's theme is local lighthouses. Come down and see all the lighthouse-themed activities we have, including create your own lighthouse.
Oh, yeah.
Craft.
I'm going to do
awesome.
it.
So I might have to get involved with that. So again, SaveBay.org/aquarium is where you can get all the information on this stuff, and SaveBay.org/lighthouse is where you can find the registration page for lighthouse tours. Again, you can see up to 20 Rhode Island lighthouses, and one of the only tours where you can actually stop and tour the inside of a historic lighthouse. Yeah. So next on the podcast, I actually sat down with Robin Squibb of the Granny Squibb Company. Have you had their iced tea before?
Oh, it's so good. It's at most of our events we have it, right?
Yeah, yep.
I always drink a ton.
That is where I discovered it, and she sat down with me to talk about her involvement with the upcoming Taste of the Bay /annual meeting event that we have every year. They are big supporters of our events, and so I sat down with her and talked about the beginning of their company and what it means for them to be at Taste the Bay. Really good interview, so I'm going to go ahead and play that right now. Hi, everybody. I am here with Robin Squibb of the Granny Squibb Company. She's joining us today for the Save the Bay podcast. Robin, how are you doing?
Fine, thank you, and honored to be here.
Great. So you have been a proud supporter of Save the Bay for as long as I've been with Save the Bay, and that's been 5 years and probably beyond that. What got you to start doing activities and events with Save the Bay?
Well, I think I've spent part of every summer of my life in Saunderstown in a house that was built by my grandparents in 1930, and it's just smack on the water. too close to the water thanks to the 38 hurricane. But anyway, it's a great place, and I come from just generations of people sailing on Narragansett Bay.
So generations of Rhode Islanders, then your family,
Right, have used and loved the bay.
So then you know the importance. You know the importance
Right.
of the bay, and you
I
appreciate.
mean, for my own pleasure, of course, but I
Yeah.
also really think it's the biggest asset that the state has. I was thinking as I was driving down here this morning, if we had no coastline.
Yeah,
You know, if we were
imagine.
just moved back into the middle of, say, Massachusetts or something.
Yeah.
It
Yep.
wouldn't be the same. And I think not only, obvious commerce and business, but tourism and you name it.
Yeah, absolutely. I often, before I started working for Save the Bay, you take it for granted that you can drive pretty much 15 minutes from wherever you are in the state and you can hit coastline.
Right.
And a beautiful coastline.
And of
at
course,
that.
recreation, and
Yeah.
as I keep saying, it's so good for the soul.
So your company, Granny Squibb Company, can you tell us a little about the formation of the company, how it got started?
I lived in New York for 35 years working on major motion pictures, and then I just had enough. And came back moved into Providence, still having the house in Saunderstown. And I kept going back to New York and working on movies because I couldn't figure out what to do, and I was too old for anyone to hire me. So in Saunderstown, and they still serve Granny Squibb's iced tea at the local yacht club after the teas on Sunday. Everyone has the recipe. And so a friend came to me and said, how about selling Granny Squibb's? And I thought, oh, people have always said that, but maybe now's the time to really try it.
So this started as a family recipe? Is that what it was?
Oh, yeah. It's been around for like 60 years or something.
Okay.
And I think in all the old houses in Saunderstown, it's written on the walls, and everyone makes it.
It's law. It's law.
And,
now.
it was given the name Granny Squibb's by the town. We thought when we were kids they should call it Mrs. Squibb's iced tea because she wasn't their grandmother. But anyway, it's been all over the place for years.
I love the iced tea. Now, when was it founded? When was the
I started in 2009. I was still sort of working on movies, but now I was reading Beverage World. I remember I was working on a movie called Hitch that was slightly earlier than that.
Is that the one with Will Smith?
Right.
Oh, yeah, I know it.
They all called me Squibby, and Will was saying, oh, look, everyone, Squibby's reading Beverage World. I bet that's really thrilling.
Oh, that's fantastic. What a great story. That's awesome. So 2009, got it started.
2009, we produced. Oh, I couldn't get any food chemist to formulate an iced tea that tasted like Granny's.
Really?
I know. It's just simple stuff. It's water, black tea, lemon juice, sugar, and mint. And so one of the food chemists, who was great, said, it's a matter of trial and error. So 53 tries later, I got it right.
Oh, great. That's awesome.
And then... So then we produced it. I went down to New Jersey. Unfortunately, we're bottled in New Jersey because it's the closest place that does small batches and pasteurizes. But hopefully someday Rhode Island will have a bottling plant that we will be part of. But anyway, so I went down to New Jersey, just scared to death. What is someone my age doing? Just putting my own money at that point into it to produce this product, and it's going to be awful, and I'm going to be embarrassed. And it was just delicious. It tastes better than...
It is delicious.
But I just couldn't believe it. And then the director of Hitch was then shooting a really, I shouldn't say this, but really awful movie with Jennifer Aniston, The Bounty Hunter.
Oh, yeah. I think I'm familiar.
So
yeah.
before we even started selling, we got a bottle of Granny's in The Bounty Hunter.
Oh, that's great.
In a minor character's hands. But anyway, that was sort of fun.
So before you did you were always making this iced tea, but before you went to go have it bottled in New Jersey, you had no experience in beverage.
In business.
Yeah,
in beverage.
So none of it.
I didn't even have Excel on my computer. I just had Word programs.
Did you just kind of pick up as you went along?
I still haven't picked up as much as I should have. Yeah, just making one mistake after another, basically.
Yeah.
I started off with a distributor, so that was really lucky.
Okay.
Someone who could take it to stores, and I went into East Side Marketplace and a few stores that had started taking local products. We knew that would work for us. Mm-hmm. And so when I went into Whole Foods, I was only in 2 stores, but they said, what's the retail price? What are other stores charging? So I could say $1.99 or whatever it was, and I felt like and then Whole Foods took it. So that led to different distributors and stuff. So that was a big break.
And at this point, where can you buy Granny Squibbs?
Well, we've just had an incredible first quarter of this year.
That's awesome.
We're in most of the New England Whole Foods. We're in the local Rhode Island markets like Dave's and Eastside Market, the Independents. But what's really been great for us is Wegmans, which is a New York chain that's just voted the best market in America year after year, and they're moving into Massachusetts.
Okay.
So we're in 2 of their 4 stores, and I shouldn't go on forever about this, but now people have started using Granny's as a mixer. One of our interns...
I was going to get to that. Yeah, go ahead.
Should I go on?
Yeah,
with this?
absolutely, yeah.
So years ago, one of our interns from Brown came up with the name of a Squibb Wreck for mixing Granny's and alcohol. So we've had great luck in Wegmans. We just seem to fit in that store. Those stores in Massachusetts have liquor departments within the store, so they recommended that we start selling it in the cooler, but in the liquor store cooler as well.
Okay.
And with a local distiller. So Bully Boy is they're in Boston, but I mean, hell, Rhode Island's so small that we think that local is kind of New England.
Yeah, absolutely.
So these 2 young guys that started Bully Boy have been terrific, and we use their dark rum. And so they have end cap things in Wegmans of Bully Boy and Granny's and Squibb Wreck posters.
That's awesome. So there's a Squibb Wreck posters with this.
I haven't actually seen if it's there, but that's
great.
The plan.
That's awesome.
And so Whole Foods in New England has 2 stores that have full liquor departments. They have more that have wine and just beer. But in the Ink Block one in the south end of Boston has a full liquor store. So we're there with Bully Boy.
That's awesome. That's really great.
Oh, and for example, at the Bowen's Wharf Oyster Festival here in Rhode Island, Bully Boy and I are working together, and the Granny Squibb Company are working together on that. So
that's really great. When you started the company, how many flavors of the iced tea did you have?
1.
Just one. This one right here.
Granny's Classic Lemon.
And right now, how many different? Because I know I've had a few different ones.
Right
over the
now
years.
we have this.
Yes.
And the unsweetened version of this. So the same ingredients, no sugar.
Okay.
And then we have the Mojito Lime, which we already knew we were heading towards the mixer thing. So we came up with the name Mojito for obvious reasons. And that has an unsweetened version.
Okay.
So we have 4.
Oh,
and
great.
we have lots more that we would like, but, getting more space and coolers isn't easy. So we're going to stick with that for now.
Great. So this year, we have an event coming up that we've been doing for the last few years called Taste of the Bay, and you were part of it last year.
Right, the last couple of years.
It's our taste that we wrap it up with our annual meeting and kind of like local food, drink kind of like event. Granny Squibbs will be there. Can you kind of talk about what your experience was last year with the event, kind of like how
it's great. Starting with the location of Save the Bay, just being at the top of the bay, it's just perfect.
Yeah, it's not a bad spot to go to work.
No, really, it's just great. So looking south, last year the weather was just fabulous, and there's plenty of room inside if it isn't fabulous weather.
Yep.
But a lot of the Rhode Island vendors, food and beverage, all work together a lot. So most of us know each other, and it's just. I mean, oysters and little necks and just all sorts of wonderful treats. Yeah. A lot of them from the bay.
It's great. You can really, it's a lot of, like you said, a lot of really local food and drink, and your iced tea included. It's
Squibb Wrecks.
You can have some Squibb Wrecks. That's where I first had a Squibb Wreck, is at Taste of the Bay. So this year's Taste of the Bay is June 9th. It's a Thursday. Our annual meeting starts at 5:30, and Taste of the Bay event starts at 7. You can buy your tickets at savebay.org/taste, and you can get more information there as well. Some of the vendors we have this year at Taste of the Bay, we have Pronzi Catering, we have Foolproof Brewing Company, we have Julian's, we have Bottles, we have Monroe Dairy, we have Narragansett Beer, we have Wright's Farm, we have Granny Squibbs, we have Matunic Oyster Bar, we have the Rhode Island Shellfishermen's Association, Sin Desserts, 401 Oyster Company, Fireworks Catering, Gray Sail, McGrath's Clam Bakes, and Vinya. And that's only a few. That's only to name a few. We have people signing on every day, every week now for this event, and it's going to be big. Last year was our biggest, and this year we're already looking like we're going to be even bigger. And it's a really great event, and everybody should check it out. If you really like, the local food scene, local drink scene, then this is definitely a spot for you. Absolutely.
Yeah, I completely agree, and it's just low key. It's wonderful.
Got live music.
Right, I forgot.
Yeah, live music. It's right on the bay. I mean, you really can't beat this. It's a really great event. Everybody should check it out.
I mean, forget Castle Hill. This is just as good.
And it's right down the street in Providence.
And it's a wonderful cause. I mean, we have this great asset, but if it's polluted, it's not going to do any of us any good.
Absolutely. Yep. Well, Robin, thank you for coming in today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I can't wait to have some of your delicious iced tea at Taste of the Bay. I mean, and probably in between there. When I'm at Whole Foods, I always grab a few. So
great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Matt.
Thanks, Robin, and I hope you have a good day, and we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks, everybody, for listening and watching. Until next month, we're going to leave you right here. Remember to like us on Facebook. That's Facebook.com, search Save the Bay, Narragansett. On Twitter, we are Save the Bay RI. On Instagram, we are Save the Bay RI. And on YouTube, we are youtube.com/Save the Bay RI.
Nice. That's a good memory there, man. I couldn't remember all those.
For the most part, we're all the same.
I guess that's your job. I know the name of all the fish, So.
And if you didn't just catch what I said, or if I got it wrong for some reason, right in the description below of this YouTube video, or if you're listening on SoundCloud, I also have the links in the description, so you can just go ahead, and that's much easier. Just click down below. So until next month, everybody, we will talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thanks, Adam.